Gonna make this video really quick. I'm recording this after close of trade Thursday, 3rd November 2011. It's 3:58 p.m. Chicago time, and I've been agonizing for about 20 minutes whether I should put this video out or not. Really just unsure about what might happen tomorrow, but let me just talk you through this real quick. I've been talking about this from the weekend, the 135-minute chart on the Emini, and I said this trend would not be over until we saw pullback to end of trend on the 135-minute chart. And so after Monday's activity, we kind of sold off really hard, and then we've just been spending the last couple of days kind of grinding up. We made this pullback support level that held, and we're kind of traveling up. Tomorrow most likely we'll get some kind of end of trend signal. So this initial sell-off was extremely hard. We had all kinds of bad news out of Greece and so on, and the market has managed to climb back up, recover somewhat, but I kind of view this as a rush for the doors, and so we just temporarily ran out as sellers at this point here, and so we're drifting back up, and the buying pressure is just incredibly light, kind of coming back. Now if you look at this on the daily chart, we've overshot kind of on the daily resistance line here, extremely weak kind of buying going on, but that end of trend on the 135-minute chart could be coinciding with a cyclical cross on the weekly chart. So again, on the weekend I talked about that, how that was a possibility, and this kind of support becomes resistance as we bounce kind of back up on a weekly chart. This last kind of move up, we've ended up with exhaustion buying at this high end here. So at the end of the week we've got this potential resistance that'll come in, be potentially a pullback and a downtrend type of signal for the weekly chart. But anyway, it's just going back to this on the daily, the 135-minute chart. Then let me just back it down another time frame. So again, daily 135 and 45-minute chart, each is a factor of 3 different. So there are 3 135-minute bars in a daily chart, and there are 3 45-minute in a 135-minute chart. Same kind of principle that I use for my tip bar settings, but you can see that this is the kind of decline that we had after the bad news over the weekend about Greece, and we had exhaustion selling down here, and then this rise that we've had back up, it almost looks like the weekly chart, support becomes resistance as we're drifting back up here. And you can see here in today's activity at the end of the day we had this pullback level kind of signal and a Rambo pattern, amateur up bar, right into the highs there, and the amount of buying that's going on is incredibly weak here with all these bearish divergence signals on better momentum. And typically when you have such a sell-off like this, I mean, it's kind of unusual for it not to have some kind of testing back, that it'll kind of continue on and kind of push higher without any type of selling signals, bullish divergence signals that kind of sit somewhere between the zero line and the exhaustion reading. So it's kind of looks to me as if it's just run out of puff and is about to kind of roll over. Now you can see the same type of thing just looking at tick bar charts, where tick bars is a little bit smoother in terms of the momentum signals and the volume signals, but you don't get quite the big picture because loading up long-term tick bar charts is kind of restricted on TradeStation. But anyway, so the 3 highest tip bar charts that I look up: the 40,500 tip bar chart, 13,500, and then the 4,500 for daily trend. And you can see on this, the day's trading, we started with a sell-off, we kind of bottomed after exhaustion, selling bullish divergence, and we've spent the entire day rallying. Now the first pullback to end of trend sequence, we didn't have exhaustion buying at that point, so looking for the second cyclical turn after that, pullback to end of trend, and you can see coming into this end of trend signal we've had our exhaustion buying. In fact, we had a second one, and bearish divergence started to come in at the end of the day. There was a bit of a rush for the doors, quite a huge reading, minus 17,000 on better momentum here, so that was quite a lot of selling going on there. And then a lot of blue professional bars at the end of the day here, so we got the end of a trending move on the 4,500 tip bar chart. On the 40,500 tip bar chart, potentially we've got a cycle trade kind of setting up here. It did signal kind of overnight as a cyclical high here, and we've kind of come back up, and it's almost like a double top being formed. But you can see what we've got at the end of the day, a whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming in there. Now we pushed it a little bit past the resistance, which I don't particularly like. It would be nice if we'd kind of settled underneath it for a potential rollover, because that, you know, potentially is setting up for you know, break above resistance into continuation uptrend. But the thing that's got me here is all of these bearish divergence signals here. Extremely weak buying, incredibly weak buying here. They're right on the zero line. And again, just going back to this point about bullish divergence signals here. So we have an exhaustion signal here. It was really extreme on Monday, Tuesday, and then these bullish divergence signals are kind of quite high up compared to that to the zero line, and they almost kind of form a little bit of a line. I talk about these kind of lines where you get the exhaustion and the bullish divergence signals kind of lining up. And again, it would be unusual for us not to have some kind of push down in terms of selling that'll form another bullish divergence signal here, or a flush pattern, something like that. So, you know, for me, it just looks as though this is kind of waiting just to roll over a little bit, have a, you know, a kind of a sell signal, you know, go short effectively at this double top, and, you know, find some kind of selling pressure that's similar to, or midway between what we saw in terms of the bullish divergence pattern and the exhaustion selling pattern here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and I'm wondering, you know, so Fridays tend to be a little bit bullish, but we have so much incredibly divergent news kind of coming out of Europe at the moment. It's just one way and the other, and, you know, the market's being kind of pulled this way and that. And again, like I said, you know, I've been agonizing to put this out as a video, because, you know, I don't think my longer term calls are particularly good. I'm much better looking at the, you know, the next 10 minutes rather than the next kind of 2 or 3 days. But just to me, this looks incredibly weak rolling over here. So let's see. You know, we'll find out in the morning. If anything, you know, so 4,500 tip bar chart. We've had this end of trend. We'll make a couple of cyclical turns on end of trend. After this end of trend, cyclical turns on the 4,500 tip bar chart, and let's see. And we'll have that, probably that kind of one end of trend signal on the 135 minute chart. Sorry, let's just show you that. So this at some point tomorrow, most likely, will kind of signal as end of trend. So you know, let's see if that kind of coincides with a significant kind of top. Who knows? That's what's so exciting about trading in the markets. You never know what's going to happen. So I'll be looking pretty intently at my charts tomorrow. So I hope you had a good day trading, and good luck tomorrow.